He said an hour later we wouldn't have got near the place.
Jim, I think we're being followed.
You're not kidding about being followed.
I'm not sure that we're being followed after all.
It could be innocent.
We had fruitlessly scanned the newsstands for references to Bilderberg. There was nothing in the mainstream papers. Jim said that a media blackout was in operation. I didn't know what to think. But there was one exception. The Weekly News is a tiny English-language parish newspaper for British expats. They've gone big on the story.
We're going to meet with the reporter from a local newspaper in Lisbon who's given heavy attention to the upcoming Bilderberg meeting, and we share all the information we can get with each other. And that way we can expose the jackasses.
We got an email through from New York saying, how can you allow these people to meet in your country? And I sent an email back to the guy and said, who are they? I've never heard of them. Who are Bilderberg? He sent me back some information and found that this was rather tip of an iceberg.
So are you finding yourself thinking up conspiracy theories?
I find myself out of my depth, actually. Yes, if 10% of these people came to this country in the normal way, it would be in all the newspapers. What is the agenda that we shouldn't know? These are powerful people. They have the ability to steer the way the world will go.
Jim and I spent the day at the Weekly News. It turned out that Paul's suspicions about Bilderberg were slightly less objective than they'd first seemed.
But a lot of Christians believe that we are in end times, and the Bible generally talks of the way that the world will move. A sense of disorder, of children not respecting their parents, of extreme. And it would appear to suggest also that we move towards the forming of a very powerful group.
Do you think Paul's getting a bit carried away thinking this is...
Well, I consider the bad guys now. I don't know if they're actually Satanists or not.
We're not Satanist. I mean, we're talking actually Satan, himself.
Does Paul think that this is some kind of biblical prophecy being fulfilled?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I really don't know. Mother, your dutiful son is playing kick the can in Portugal on Wednesday morning. Thank you.
The next day brought a strange development. The new Weekly News was supposed to hit the newsstands today. Another Bilderberg expose.
O jornal?
The news.
Não.
Não vende aqui, não segue todo. Não segue o EPN.
No.
We're 5 kilometers away from where the Bilderberg conference is being held, and the newspaper's not here.
This is the very first time ever, in all the years we've been working with this paper, that this has happened. That it gets distributed in the Algarve and it doesn't get distributed in this area. Amazing.
One of the Bilderberg members is the owner of the printing press that prints Paul's newspaper.
And they control the...
distribution.
Uh-huh.
You can have a crooked mind and think, is it a coincidence that the man that prints our papers, could that be that man had anything to do with it?
But the paper did appear a few hours later. Fred and Brendan were just being paranoid. We were all becoming a little paranoid. It is easy to be sucked up into the paranoia.
So this is the scene of the crime.
This was supposed to be an easy day. Jim simply wanted to verify that the complete shutdown of the Caesar Park had been accomplished. The plan was to drive up there and be turned away at the gate. Then we'd drive back to our hotel for a leisurely afternoon by the pool and in the bar.
Hi.
Hi. Just going to the hotel.
Hotel, huh?
But it was not to be. The gatekeeper lifted the barrier and waved us in with a cheerful smile.
I'm surprised already.
So we're back inside.
So I saw those cops deploying yesterday, I thought.
Thought this would be it. The hotel was deserted. There was nobody else there. This was unnerving. We had lunch and quickly left. David Barker, the cameraman, did the driving because we didn't expect anything to happen. But something did happen, so I picked up my home video camera.
Well, there's nothing subtle about it, is there?
Somebody tailing us again?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see him in the rearview mirror back there. Looks like we have a waiting game here. The other poor fool doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if we're going to turn around and go the other way.
What should we do?
Just do what we're doing. Stop acting suspiciously. Abide by the rules, the laws of the country. And we're not breaking any law. Here he comes. He's behind it now.
He's behind us again, Jim.
Yes. I couldn't see him. Oh, yeah. He's hanging way back.
Is he pulling up?
Oh, yeah, he's stopped.
And he knows that we know he's there.
So who could it be?
Bilderberg security of some kind. He's not going to move till we move.
Do you think they might shoot us?
I don't think so. I think it'd be too big of a story to have a fat old dead reporter lying on the shoulder.
More humorist. I told him that. That'll help.
We were followed back to our hotel.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there. He keeps stepping behind a tree. We're playing peekaboo.
So if the bit of plastic is on the floor when we get back, instead of in the door, we know somebody's been in the room. I've got one on this door as well. This is because when I came back to my room just now, after having a walk on the beach, things had slightly moved in the room, and a different key. One of these with the number 408 on it, which hadn't been there before, was in the power thing against the wall. So somebody has been in my room without question. So that's why I put a bit of plastic here and a little bit of plastic on your door, David. So if they're on the floor when we get back tonight, we'll move into another hotel.
Our surveillance continued for the rest of the evening. A man in a car followed us to a bar and then to dinner, and eventually I telephoned the British Embassy.
No, it's okay. We're being followed. Well, we don't really know what to do, having never been followed before.
No, he's with us. There he is.
I explained to the British Embassy that I was essentially a humorous journalist out of my depth, and they replied with an extraordinary statement. They said that the Bilderberg group was way out of their league, that they were just a little embassy.
He's still with us. You let a car get between us.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping that maybe there was something you could do.
Later, the British Embassy phoned me back and said they'd spoken with the Caesar Park and had been told that nobody was following us. They said we must be imagining it. They said it was all in our minds, and how could they call off someone who didn't exist?
I'm a goddamn idiot. Okay, we call it Bilderberg sets a trap. Was that black car following them, or was paranoia setting in? Barker, who was driving, suddenly stopped at the roadside and the car sped by. So they were not being followed on a public highway, right? Wrong. You guys will check me for accuracy on this while we do it. Tucker climbed several steps to the swimming pool area. Chaser ran behind a tree and the two played peekaboo. When Ronson and Barker joined Tucker, they reported two news stalkers in the hotel lobby. How did they know the two men were stalking?